तव कथामृतं तप्त जीवनं कुबीभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः. Today we'll be reading from the page 532-33. We were reading from there the last week, and Sri Ramakrishna was discussing with some of the devotees. Suddenly someone asked a question, said, what is the significance of Sri Krishna's stealing the gopis' clothes? We know in the life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when he was having the sports, divine sports in Vrindavan, when the gopis, the ladies of the village, when they were bathing in the pond, they kept their clothes on the side of the pond. Young boy Krishna came, stole those and kept hiding. There's a story like that. Why he should do like this? That was the question. Sri Ramakrishna gave a wonderful spiritual reply. And he said, there are 8 fetters that bind a person to the world. The gopis were free from all but one, shame. Therefore Krishna freed them from that one too, by taking away their clothes. On attaining God, one gets rid of all fetters. See, this is how he is mentioning. Usually we find that Ashtapasha. In Tantra, it says that an individual soul with fetters is Jiva. Pashabhatta Jiva. And then in an individual soul without fetters is Shiva. Pashamukta Shiva. The Jiva and Shiva. Only this much. We are worshipping the Shiva. We are the devotees of Shiva. But what is the Shiva? Free from fetters. And who is worshipping? We. Who are we? Jiva. What are Jivas? With fetters. Now, this is very important to understand. What is our goal? Not only to worship Shiva, to become Shiva, to transform ourselves to Shiva-hood. And how it is possible? Just by removing the fetters. This is the way the Tantra explains. We find the same thing in Vedanta. Vedanta says it is the Maya that is superimposing. So if you are free from Maya, you are that great Chaitanya. There is nothing except that Chaitanya. And in our buddhi, on our intellect, that particular consciousness is reflecting. But because of the Maya, inscrutable power of the same God, Brahman, we are thinking otherwise. We are thinking we are bound. Why? Maya is superimposing on us something else. That is the problem. Covering, superimposing. First it is covering that we are actually consciousness. And then superimposing that we are this body, this mind, this complex. So this body, mind, complex that constantly we are thinking. What the Vedanta says, you are mukta. You are liberated, you are free. The moment you understand this. Same way the Tantra says, you are Shiva. You are also the consciousness. But if you can remove the Ashtapasha, the 8 fetters, In the 16th chapter, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, in first 3 slokas, he gave the list of the divine qualities. The 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, very, very important. These 3 slokas only. And full list of all the good qualities. And then, very special, the same God, he is telling on the 6th sloka, 6th verse of the same chapter, 16th chapter, 6th verse, he says, Do bhuta swargai lokesmin daiva asura evacha daivo vistarasha prokta asuram partha me srinu. Now there are 2 types of beings in this world. One is the divine, another demonic. I have already spoken, I have already told you about the divine beings. Now let me tell you about the demonic beings. What are the demonic qualities? And then he goes on telling about what are the demonic qualities, the demonic behavior, demonic way of living, everything. Usually what we do, we try to shun all that is bad. We don't like to listen to that. Think that it will come on our mind. But in the spiritual path, you should know what is actually binding you. That's why the Lord Krishna, Jagat Guru, the master of the whole universe, and he is giving us this full list so that we can understand what are the things, if we practice, then we are bound, we can never realize God. We can never go back to our own self. So that is the main reason. Sri Ramakrishna mentioned about the Ashtapasha. He mentioned the gopis, they were so blessed. Out of the 8, they were free from the 7. Only 1 was left. So that, why this? So the Yoga Sutra also, same way as the Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Yoga Sutra also they talk about the klesha. The klesha also the same thing. In the yoga they give a different name. In the Bhagavad Gita and the Tantra, Bhagavad Gita actually representing Vedanta, and in the Tantra, if you read that our Chandi, there also it says, when the Shambhu is very angry because all his officers and soldiers are killed by the Durga, then he said, oh, you go. And he mentioned about 8 demons. He is naming 8 demons. As if they are going, they are the leaders, they are the commanders of the army. But those 8 actually are the 8 fetters. So in the Srishti Chandi, in the Shaptashati, we find the same thing, the 8 fetters. In the Yoga, Pancha Klesha. So if you have to practice meditation, you should understand what are the kleshas that are binding your mind to this earthly life. And this Pancha Klesha, they are the 5 hindrances. What are the 5 hindrances? Avidya, first. Ignorance. Ashmita, ego. Raga, attachment. Dvesha, aversion. Avinivesha. Raga, Desha, Avinivesha. And another 2, Avidya and Ashmita. This Ashmita, the ego, I, this ego, it comes from ignorance. And what is that ignorance? It is also very peculiar. Knowledge and ignorance. In the beginning, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when he first is meeting this young man, the teacher, Sri Mahendranath Gupta, he asked him about this 2 knowledge. And Mahendranath failed to answer that, though he was MA in those days from Calcutta University. He couldn't understand. Normally, we think that education means all the modern knowledges and the certificate from the university, that is education. A man of knowledge means he knows so many things. But for Sri Ramakrishna, but for the spiritual teachers, knowledge means the knowledge about one, and ignorance means knowledge about many. The moment we think there are so many, that is ignorance. So that is avidya, ignorance, avidya. What is the avidya? And we are thinking they are separate, they are separate, they are separate, they are separate. And nowadays, not only nowadays, almost all the time, in the name of religion, we are all separated. Some people are utilizing the religion for their political power, some people for their economical power. The kings is to declare that we are actually the God living over here, so the ordinary, the subjects, the people, the prajas, they will think this is the, and still now in the 21st century, some of the countries are there. You can say nothing against the king. Whatever the king will likes he can do because he is God. Till now they are there. You can never say anything. The moment you are entering into that country, you should know. Even if you are a visitor, you must understand if you are telling anything against the king, you won't be able to come back. Why? You are going against God. So there is all wrong conceptions. And in the name of God, people are cutting the throat of his brothers. Why? Avidya. Ignorance. Ignorance about the religion. Ignorance about, and why this ignorance? Where from this ignorance? Some people, even some of the spiritual leaders, they are utilizing. So it is very, very important to understand what is avidya, what is ignorance, so that at least we won't be bound by that, influenced by that. So this is avidya, the ignorance according to the yoga. Asmita, the ego. What is this ego? If you sit quietly and think, I was telling her, this is I, this is I. What is I? My intellect. What is I? My mind, this body, my family lineage. What is this I? You'll find no answer. But ego is the main cause of our suffering. Not only that, ego is the main cause of everything. Suppose you go to any country which is declared by this country as the enemy country. You go and mix with the ordinary people, the same. They will behave just like the same. They are curious, they are friendly, and they are helpful. Everything will be the same. Then why we are fighting? Because someone sitting over there as an administrator, because of the ego, he is imposing his ego on the whole country. And just because of the ego, world wars, thousands of people are dying. Soldiers are marching and dying to cover that death, to cover that ignorance. We say, oh, they are patriotic and they are heroic and this and that. All we will be talking about that. But actually covering the ignorance, covering somebody's ego. So this we must understand, the avidya. And it comes from asmita. Raga means attachment. Attachment is sometimes we see something, we hear something and we like it. This is the attachment we should have. And along with the attachment, there is also another thing, aversion. If you are not liking something, that is also the problem. The same thing. Suppose you are angry with someone. You don't like to talk about, you don't like to see the face. What actually you are doing? Constantly thinking about that. Aversion also an attachment. When you are attached to something, you are constantly thinking about that. Your whole mind is thinking about that. But when you are in aversion, you are angry with that particular thing, same thing is happening. Same thing we are doing. So attachment and aversion, almost the same thing, upwards and reverse of the same coin. Then the asmita. These are the yoga. And we find in the Sutra Tripitaka of the Buddhism, the 10 types of fetters, but they are little different types. These 10 type of fetters, they say, belief in a self. As because in the Buddhism, you don't believe in the self. So if you are believing in the self and you are afraid of the self, the first bondage. Then doubt or uncertainty, especially about the Buddha's awareness. You should not doubt about that. Attachment to rites and rituals, because they were fighting against Brahmanism. The rites and rituals, that was the main religion at that time. So Buddha, as Swami Vivekananda said, rebel child of Hinduism. That is also Hinduism. Hinduism, you know, it is having so many different ways. And rituals is one of the very important part of it. Without ritual, we cannot do anything. Even a new house, first we'll go, we'll break a coconut or lamp, burn a lamp, and then we'll do like this. The ritual is the first thing. Sometimes when you go to our devotee's house, they will ask, Swamiji, please wait. Then they will bring some plate on that, there is a lamp, then they will show, and then rituals. That is the part of it. If you don't do that, you think, oh, I am not practicing religion. So this is a natural, but when it goes and takes the position of the real religion, that is the problem. That is not real religion. Process. So here, as because Buddha was protesting, the Brahminical society pushed him out. But Swami Vivekananda, he said, is a rebel child of Hinduism. And here it says, attachment to those rites and rituals, that is also fetters. And sensual desire, kama. And if you have the desires, ill will. And if you are having the enmity with someone, lust for material existence, lust for immaterial existence also. What is that? Swarga. When you are thinking about the heaven, why I am donating my property, my money, why I am serving people, so after this I will go to Swarga. You will find this is a really great mistake that the people are doing. They will be cheating people and earning money, and then a little portion of that money they will go and give it to the temple, thinking that all the sin that I have, they know what is sin. And that's why a little part of that, of their earned money, earned through sin, wrong way, they will go and donate, thinking, I am free now. I don't think so. God is not. I am not accepting that. You are not accepting that. How you think that God will accept that? Do you think that God is so full? No. Accounts is very perfect in God's realm. Nothing. Karma, phala, you have to. But these people that they are thinking, oh, we are free. Some of the people all through their life they will do wrong, cheating hundreds of people, and then afterwards they will build a temple and say, oh, now I am free from all sin, and after I have lived a very good life in this, now I am 86, 90, if I pass, I will go straight to the heaven, again a good life I am going to have that. Wrong conception, but let them enjoy whatever. But this is the problem. Why ego again? Again the mistake they are doing. Some of the people, they get the opportunity to serve people. They become doctors, they become professionals. Again the ego comes and they'll be cheating people, behaving roughly, and ruthless thing that they will do. What happened? Whatever the good action that they did in the past, they got the good result, but now again coming back. This is a very peculiar thing goes on and on. So this they are telling. Then mana, conceit, the mana, ahamkara, restlessness, and also ignorance. Lastly, the Buddhists, they think it is the 10th fetters. And Tantra, they talk about 8 fetters. That is exactly what Sri Ramakrishna mentioned. He said, shame, lajja, grina, bhai, jati, kula, shila, bhai, and jugupsha. So this grief, the fear, this is the bhai that comes. So Lajja, Grina, Bhaya, Jati, all these 8 fetters are coming. These 8 fetters, now first is Lajja. What is this Lajja? This is exactly what Sri Ramakrishna mentioned about this, our gopis. And Sri Krishna wanted to make them free from that. And what is this Lajja? Consciousness about the body. When you are fully conscious about the body, that you think that it is a Lajja. And that is the reason you don't like to do anything. I am not properly dressed. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was going to meet some rich people in those days in the society, and he was asking, am I properly dressed? All the bottoms are properly fixed and everything is all right. Then the people who were accompanying, it's not necessary for you. You are like a divine child. There's no problem. No. I'm going to those people. They like it, so I should be properly dressed. And the second time they invited him, Sri Ramakrishna was also eager to go, but they were afraid. The moment Sri Ramakrishna was having a God, naturally the attraction. Any people, the moment they were listening to Sri Ramakrishna, seeing him, they were getting attracted to Sri Ramakrishna. Those people, they didn't like it. They said, no, we are cancelling the invitation. Sri Ramakrishna did not to come over here because he is not properly dressed. So this is the problem. In the beginning, when our Swamis used to come in this country, they were establishing the centers here and there. This photo, most of the time people used to ask him why he is wearing this type of dress. So most of the time the picture of Sri Ramakrishna which is fully dressed, that they used to show. This is Sri Ramakrishna. Now slowly they started understanding Sri Ramakrishna. Now they know this. A majority of them are also wearing this type of dress, all this. So this is the way people, they understand Lajja. Why? This Lajja is binding us. And Lajja, not only that, it's a hatred, Krina. If you are trying to proceed in the path of religion, in the path of spirituality, trying to realize God, you can never hate anyone. If you do that, you can never reach God. So that is the second step, a very, very important step. So this Krina, the majority of the people, if you go to the traditional religion, they will find they are so religious. They are fasting for the whole month. And then they are doing this, they are doing that. But at the same time, tremendous hatred for others. Do you think they will be able to realize God? No. Because they are not aware of the bondage, about of the rope that is tying them. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gives a beautiful, the anecdote, the story. And he said, a few drunkards, they crossed the river and went to another village to drink. And they drank full and they wanted to come back. And whole night they were rowing. And in the next morning, they discovered themselves over there itself. Why? They forgot to lose that was tying, that the boat was tied with the rope. They forgot to lose that, take out that. That's why they were tied over there and the whole night they were trying, rowing. They could not come. Same way. I am a Hindu and you are such and such, you are not allowed, lower caste, this caste and that caste. I went to a place and a so holy place, as supposed to be the Vedantin. But when I went, I found even as a monk of the Ramakrishna mission, they asked me, sit over there, sit over there. The people who were distributing food, I told it's not necessary, but the devotees told, no, it is better, just sit over here. So I sat. When they were serving food, the devotees told, sir, he is a sannyasi. And Dasanavina Sampradaya sannyasi. No? And those who were serving the bare body, they were showing there the Yagga Upavid, the thread. We are the Brahmins, the upper caste. So they are throwing the braids on our plates. Can you imagine? So much of hatred. And you think that you are a Vedantin? You think that you are a pure person? I was not insulted, I never felt insulted. I was only feeling, oh my God, all through their life they're trying to practice religion, not knowing that they're tied down only with this hatred, the grina. So this grina, this is terrible thing. When we are having the hatred, that this is grina, you can never. Now Master Devi's life, if you can read that life, you will understand. Some people, they do not understand what is there. There's no teaching as such from the mother. Very simple, Master Devi. The one person has come very low caste, so-called low caste. All are born as human being. And they have come. Mother is sitting so close to them and serving, just like a mother feeding the children, with great affection and love. And other ladies were telling what you are doing, why you are touching their plates, why you are feeding like that, you will lose your caste. Mother didn't say anything. Remember that. It's 19th century, very orthodox Hindu society, and that too in the village. Even then mother was behaving like that. How it is possible? Free from fetters. What are the fetters? These are the free from the fetters. So these fetters we are talking about. So why we follow Holy Mother, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna? Sri Ramakrishna used to go to a person's place who was a sweeper. He used to clean the bathrooms of the Dakshinesha, the Pariya as they call in Hindi. A very low caste person he considered. And Sri Ramakrishna went to his house and cleaned secretly his bathroom. You can you imagine? He was a Brahmin, he was a priest, he was a highly respected person. He did it. Why? That grina and lajja and all the fetters should go away. So he's practicing that. Friends, this is important. If we want to realize God, if we want to develop in spiritual life, these are the things we must know and practice. No fear. Why should we fear? If we have the faith that God is there, why should we fear? God is there. He'll be taken care of everything. So when we were coming out to become a monk, when we were coming out, everything was there. But still then, there's no fear. To whom we are going? What is going to happen to me? Am I going to get a good place to stay or good food to eat? And people will take care or not? No fear at all. Why? I am living in the name of God and God will take care of me. No fear at all. I told you, I think, that when I was in Arunachal Pradesh, I don't think that I am free from the fetters, not that. Experience I am telling. And because of this, as we are following this type of, it happened to many monks, many nuns, many people's life. And when I was in Arunachal Pradesh, if you go to the Indian newspaper, you will find, and even the day before yesterday, and a member of the Legislative Assembly was gunned down by some of the underground people, very ruthless people. And I received a phone call from him, give me money. I told, we have money, not that we don't have. But that is a society's money. I cannot share that money with you. It is not possible. I will kill you. Then I told, it will be a great favor if you please give me time when you are going to kill. Why? I will go and sit just in front of my God, in my shrine, and I will ask you to shoot in such a way so that when I am dead, my head should go and touch my God. That is the only favor I will ask. And he was taken aback. Why? I am not afraid. Why I am not afraid? I know that God is there. If I am not realizing God in this life, next life, I am going to realize God. I am not afraid of it. And inside the jungle, you cannot imagine. Daytime if you go, you will be going on clicking cameras. But the night time if you go, you will go under the bed. It is so fearful. So anyway, this fear and jati, the caste, every time, most of the Indians have the habit of asking, where from you are coming, Swamiji? Oh, you are this caste, you are that caste. Very wrong. Sannyasis have no caste, should not have. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna says, the devotees have no caste. Bhakti jati ne. No jati, no caste. Can you forget that? No. We are so much egoistic about the jati. What about your past life, where you were? Do you know? We don't. Maybe we were somewhere else. And in this life we are hitting that life. And again in the next life we'll be hitting this life. This is going on. This is so foolish. So this jati, kula, so proud of our family lineage. We are from Surya Vamsha. We are from Chandra Vamsha. We are from this, we are from that. And if you are not developing the real qualities in your life, spiritual qualities, then what Vamsha? So this we have to understand, and good conduct, we consider that is the ultimate thing. Good conduct, the good people. There's sometimes some people, they will consider a political person and not killing each other people, but he is motivating others to practice the non-violence. Oh, he is a religious man. Nothing wrong in it, but that is not the ultimate of religion. So that good conduct, the Shila, also cannot help you. So that will help you, but not. And Jugupsha also. Anybody is commenting about you, immediately inside the mind, you are going on thinking, every family, every individual in society, the people are constantly, we don't actually suffer for ourselves, we suffer for others. Why? Comment. Somebody will comment about me, somebody will do like, and we are so much concerned. Suppose I am not doing like this, what will happen? And suppose I behave like this, what will happen? Every time we are concerned about other people. There's some people, they like to sing and take the name of God, but fear of others, what they will think, they won't do that. So friends, these are the things we find that in the Buddhism and of course in the Yoga, Tantra, and also in our Vedanta, these fetters. And Sri Ramakrishna just casually mentioned about this to answer a question. There are 8 fetters. These are the 8 fetters. We can discuss about details. Then he is talking to Mahendra Mukherjee and the others. By no means all people feel attracted to God. There are special souls who feel so. To love God, one must be born with good tendencies. I repeat this word. Now, again and again, when I look at you, when I see you, and some of the people so eager, to go to the holy place, to listen to the holy words, to practice religion, and some young people also. Why? Good tendencies. And some elderly people are there, they are ready to listen everything, they're ready to spend the whole night listening to some of the songs and dances and dramas. But if you ask them to spend half an hour or 1 hour to listen about the God, their mind gets tormented. They feel it's a torture. Why? Because no tendencies. What are these tendencies? Past life, past birth. Sri Ramakrishna is very clear mentioning to love God. Remember it, to love God. One must be born with good tendencies. Otherwise, why should you alone of all the people of Bagbajar come here? The same words sometimes we see over here mention about you. So you are driving 1 hour to come over here, and the Tuesday working day, and after finishing this again they will go 1 hour driving, coming directly over here. After that again driving back almost 3-4 hours, then preparing for the next day office. But still you come on Tuesdays to listen to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, as Sri Ramakrishna mentioned. Otherwise, why you will come from Bagbajar? You know, the Dakshineshwar and Bagbajar is a little distance. You can't expect anything good in a downhill. The touch of the Malaya breeze turns all trees into sandalwood, no doubt. But there are a few exceptions, like the banyan, like the cotton tree, Ashwatha, for example. They will never turn into that. So this is the tendencies, the good tendencies. No, no joke, friends. It is true. Not only you, I also consider myself a blessed. Why? We have come to a philosophy, a darshana, an ideology, a path of religion that speaks so truly and simply. Only thing we have to understand this, and whenever we are getting some time, close our eyes and ponder. It is true. When I was a small little person, what I was, nothing. Now slowly I am growing up, and one day it is for sure I am going to die, pass away, leaving everything. Even if I want to cling to this, I won't be able to. So what I am carrying with me? Good tendencies. Why should I carry bad tendencies? I am fighting with this man or that man. I am egoistic, I am not helping others, criticizing others, creating problem for others. But for what? For what benefit I will get? So look at these people who get in the democratic process. An ordinary person, suddenly, from nowhere, he will be in the highest position of that country. Do you think just by chance, accident? No. Past tendencies. He wanted some power. He did some good work only to get that. And in this life, he got it. He achieved it. Now, forgetting that, he becomes egoistic. Again, coming back down to the square one. Remember that the one type of game is there. It's not. So, we're playing, and then last from 98 to 100 is a snake, and the snake bringing you down. Don't forget this. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to observe when the young people are playing that, he will go and watch, and he'll be so happy seeing one of his disciples, apparently ignorant, he'll lead and people sometimes to call him Lakturam. And he never was caught by the snakes. Rather, he was always helped by the ladders. That shows that he is going to realize God. He did. So that is the way he said in that way. You cannot expect anything good in a downhill state. Then to the brothers, Mukherjee brothers, a group of people, they came to Mukherjee. How he is giving us the hope, you see. You are well off in the spiritual path. Don't be afraid. If a man slips from the path of yoga, then he is reborn in a prosperous family and starts again his spiritual practice for the realization of God. Those who have read the Bhagavad Gita must be that sloka going in your ear. Exactly the same thing Krishna also said, the promised. And why doubt then? All the realized souls, the avatars, embodiment of God. What? something good in the past. Now, you could not realize God at that life. Don't worry. Again, He will go from there. So this is exactly what happened. And Sruchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Brashta Vijayate. Shuchi, cultured people. And from the beginning itself, the parents will be giving the proper guidance. Don't hate others. I have seen that some of the parents, they'll be giving the coin in the hand of a child and ask, go and help that gentleman sitting over there. They won't say beggar. That gentleman sitting over there, go and give that money. The small little, the child won't understand who is he, and he is very happy. It's there again, going and giving. Habit is growing up. Giving. And they will give some candies and all. Go and share with your friends, with your brothers. And you will observe how they are sharing. With joy they are doing it. So this is the way the parents are giving them good samskaras. Anyone coming, go and touch their feet and have the blessings. Be humble. So this is the way they always good samskaras. And then we find someday, so this good samskaras helps us to go towards God. And what is that God actually? Fulfillment. What is the fulfillment? Peace. Absolute peace. Whatever we do for joy, we do for peace, we do for happiness. Whatever we are doing, when you are eating, we feel that we are going to be happy by eating it. When you are going to meet the friends, oh, I am going to fight with him. No, I go to friend to get the joy. I am going to visit our relatives. I am going to enjoy their company. At the back of all action, only one thing is there. Joy, happiness, peace. That absolute, the complete, when we get, that is called God realization. Then Mahendra, why does one slip from the path of yoga? He is asking this question. And the very wonderful question they always ask. And it is good that they asked. You know that in our retreat sessions, after the talk, the Swamis will invite the questions. Most of the majority of the people will be sitting quiet. You know why? Not that they don't have the question. They're afraid, fear. If I ask something, if people laugh, and if they think that I'm a fool, so they don't like to speak out. Wrong thing. So if you have any doubt, and you should create doubt in your mind to clarify your points, not that you are doubting the statement of the person who is telling, you know it, to clarify the point for yourself and all for others. Sir, you said like this, then why this? So this is the same way we find when the Sri Ramakrishna is talking, is just like our spiritual retreat. Any people visiting Sri Ramakrishna sitting over there for the whole day listening is a retreat. Spiritual retreat. Recharging their spiritual batteries. And when they are going back, going on pondering over all the advices Sri Ramakrishna gave. One person asked that question, why Krishna took away all the clothes of the gopis? We heard about the Ashtapasha. Now this man is asking, you talk that if you slip from the yoga, why do they do? What's the problem? Why does one slip from the path of yoga? Now Sri Ramakrishna, while thinking of God, the aspirant may feel a craving for material enjoyment. Sometimes it comes. Material enjoyment, you know. Because the path, you are going to realize God. You are going to be free. Obviously, the God Himself is giving you the knowledge and He is asking you to come. But at the same time, He has kept all the hurdles that you must have to cross and cross and cross. And these are the hurdles of name, fame, money and all. And lokeshana, in Sanskrit it's called eshana. Eshana means desire. All people should praise me. Nowadays, it has become more for the monks. Eshana. all they will come and say, oh, you have hit for 5,000 people, hit, that whatever that you have said, it is in the YouTube, and the hit is going on. So some people, some people, they don't bother about the content, they see the number. And now the Swamis, they are thinking, oh, I am only 100 and he is 1,000, he is 10,000. What is all this? I always feel, am I satisfied by talking? Because I am not talking for others, I am talking for myself. Am I satisfied? I am talking about myself actually. So this is the main thing, Ashana. Otherwise, again, sleep. That is the greatest thing in the life of the spiritual aspirants. Sri Ramakrishna is so clear. There is a craving for the material enjoyment. It is craving that makes him slip from the path. In his next life, he will be born with the spiritual tendencies that he failed to translate into action in his present life. Look at it. So why should I wait for the next life? Why not here? And that's why in the Upanishad it says, Iha chet avedit atasatyam asti. Nachet iha avedit mahati binasti. Bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitra dhiraha pritya asman lokan amrita bhavanti. Be immortal, amrita. Why this immortal? No birth again. How? That in every being, that same self, bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitra dhira pritya asman loka, in this life, here and now, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, again and again he is telling, here and now, we in this life only, how? Just remain conscious, that's all. Just remain conscious. What is the consciousness? I am not this body, I am not this mind. I am only wearing this form, I am wearing that much. I am the self, I am the consciousness. I am only putting on this body, that's all. I was born in such and such family. This is my mother tongue, this is my food habit, this type of clothing, this type of culture. And I am happy that I got all those things. But those are not me. I am only putting on it, that's all, nothing else. So this is the way, conscious every time. This is one way when you are practicing the consciousness, or I have a father, I have a mother, God is my father, God is my mother. Constantly, the moment you get up, immediately see the picture of the God and say, God, again another day is coming. You should be always with me. Don't leave me. I may forget you, but you should not forget me. And constantly remembering here, there, everywhere, you should remember. When you see the clouds, the rainy clouds, remember, it may be the color of Krishna, maybe the color of Sri Ramchandra, maybe the color of Sri Kali. So they are all our gods and goddesses, so vast. And that is our God. Cloud only you are looking at, but you are remembering in that way. And by that way you are remembering the God. So this way we have to. Then what is the way? This question we will discuss in our next class. Thank you friends, thank you for coming. What is the way to God realization? What will be the answer of Sri Ramakrishna? We will listen in our next class. Please repeat after me. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishna Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.